couldn't come up with a call sign fast enough. It's like 27 degrees though. And this office trailer has one little space heater to heat it. And it's facing at me, but I still have to have a blanket. So it's going to be a freezing my ass off stream, which I'm sure is going to do great things for the head cold / return of COVID / flu that I'm getting. Whatever weird shit this is. Ay. It might also have just been the weather change, dude. Sometimes I'm convinced that in itself can make somebody sick. I know that's like an old wives' tale. I know that people say that like the weather change, can make you sick, but then apparently like scientists are like, nah, that doesn't really happen. But I'm telling you, bro, I get sick and I'm like, fuck, bro, the weather change, man. Because it always coincides with it. Some winters, though, I just spend them sickly, honestly. Some winters I just spend sickly. Let me make sure I set it to all chats so that I see everything as it comes in. There we go. Ah, man. You know what's weird, though? I feel like my voice actually sounds better today than it did yesterday. And I was about to say, even though I'm more sick, and I think actually the correct thing to say would be because I'm more sick, actually. I think it's because I'm so fucking deathly ill that my voice is like staying so deep, which is not nice, right? It's not nice to have like a super deep voice when you're a femme, but it is nice to be able to be heard clearly. Hello, bro. Desde Argentina. Pick the weed. I will pick the weed, my friend. Dude, South America, bro. That's cool, man. International audience. Yeah, of course I work. You kind of got to work in America. There's this myth of like welfare queens and shit in America, but I've only met a couple of people that I would consider like that in a real sense, and it's just not as common as you would think. But that's pretty much the only way that people will cite for being unable to work in America. It's like, well, them damn welfare queens don't work, but pretty much everyone agrees is pretty much it's either work or starve. So yeah. And I didn't grow up with parents who were on the system, so I have no idea how to, use its loopholes and shit. Not that I would be above doing such if I did. Hey, if there's a system with loopholes, go through them, bitches. But just not my area of expertise. I actually do quite a bit of work though. I work here at the farm, and I also have a day job, so to speak. Our musician? Yeah. How'd you know? That's weird. Weird that you would ask, because yes, actually, I have a guitar sitting right over here. I don't know how good it would sound right now, given how cold it is, but farm, yeah, I live on a farm. It's we're just dirt farmers. We're very we're poor folk, but we manage to make more from our money by spending it on feed more than the grocery bill, I guess. It's the idea. And eventually the idea is to make everything that we need here. But it takes time. And in our case, it'll probably take buying some more land. Let's play. I might play in a minute. Let me take a couple hits of this. I loaded up the bowl. You're not going to deny me the bowl, are you? You know, like, let me... Am I American? Oh, yes. Sadly, yes. No, not sadly. It's a joke, okay? Can you play some? Yes, I can. Give me a second, all right? Give me just a second, all right? Mississippi. Where am I from? Mississippi. Mississippi. New York, upstate or the city? Take your time. Well, thank you. That's what's up, city. I never got to travel through New York City, but I did get to travel heavily through upstate, and I fucking loved upstate New York. Now, granted, when I was traveling through upstate New York, I was either living in my van or had just recently stopped living in my van and moved up to Massachusetts for a while. So I never got to experience it with a whole lot of money to like go to the restaurants and see the sights and shit. But what I did get to see and what I did get to experience was just so beautiful. So a lot of love for New York for sure. Smoke and play, I will. 25 minutes away from the city. Well, that's good. See, because like being that far away, you're far enough away probably not to hear the sirens all the time, and probably not to deal with as much of the like pollution and shit. But you're close enough to be able to get to the biggest city on the planet. Well, not the biggest city on the planet, but the biggest city in America. No, it's not the biggest city in America either. But is it the most populous? Whatever. It's the coolest city in America. I don't, like whatever. It may not be any of the other shit, but insane, bro. What you did was way better. Well, honestly, yeah, it smells like piss and shit. Dude, it's like New Orleans then. I'd fit right in, man, because let me tell you, I'm fucking coming from a southerner. We got a city like that down here, too. It's called New Orleans. New Orleans smells like fucking shit and piss 24 fucking 7. And vomit. And they actually figured out a way to prevent it from smelling like that. But the cost of upkeep for the program was too expensive. They're like, no, I think we'll just let the French Quarter just keep smelling like French shit and horse piss and vomit. What are you going to do, man? That's Louisiana for you. Good old Louisiana. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thoughts his act. What does that mean, Merrick? That one kind of flew over my head a little bit. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thoughts his act. Okay, so don't voice your thoughts, which to me I kind of take umbrage with, and don't act on thoughts that you haven't considered carefully. Is that what it means? Crazy, I'm glad I know. Subscribed, got to go. Well, you come back and see us sometime. That'll be fun. But yeah, traveling through upstate was really cool. I really liked a lot of the Seneca Reservation was really cool to be on, and to travel through. There's a dispensary which I believe is on the Seneca Reservation called Ace of Spades, and it is fucking amazing. It's the best dispensary I've ever been to, and the coolest dispensary by far. I love it to death. The first time I ever walked in there, it was surreal. Every other dispensary in the country, maybe there's some exceptions, but I'm not aware of them. Every other one, you can't smoke at the dispensary, in the dispensary, or around the dispensary. But we walk in, it's a little smoky in there. And I look at the first thing my eyes fixate on after they adjusted the light is, and the clerks are like, hello, welcome in. They're both fucking smoking. The one who's sitting over by the pre-roller, fucking smoking. And the one fucking managing the customers, smoking. One of them's got a fucking little, cone joint thing. One of them's got a blunt. It's like fucking, Bro, that was wild. Did you put a bowl to cut the bangs? Yes. A big old, like, plastic bowl, like, boop. No, actually, that's a really good idea, though. I didn't do that, but that's a really good idea. Is that like a trick that girls will do to, like, cut their bangs right? Because, like, if so, I could use that. I don't know, like, I didn't have anybody to teach me how to do. Well, that's not true. I did have somebody who was willing to teach me how to do my bangs right, but I didn't. I don't know. I was still getting used to my existence, and I didn't know how to ask her. But then afterwards, she was like, "Why didn't you ask me? I would have cut them for you." And I was like, "Oh, you're so sweet." Perfect, Bob. Well, thanks. I'm just bullshitting, but it's from Hamlet. It's basically advice Polonius gave to Laertes. He's basically telling his son to think before he speaks. Think your actions through before you act out. Okay, yeah. Then I got most of the meaning, for sure. I got most of the meaning. That's cool. Good attitude to take, for sure. Well, since we keep getting constant requests for the guitar, I suppose I will play you at least one song. Let's see, what do I want to play? I am a full coach rider on a San Jacinto line. The desert is my brother, my skin is cracked and dry. I was riding on a full coach. Wait, I got the fucking lyrics wrong. Shotgun rider is the first line. I am a shotgun rider on the San Jacinto line. The desert is my brother, my skin is cracked and dry. I was riding on a full coach, and everything was fine, till we took a shorter road to save some time. Bandits only fired once, they shot me in the chest. They may have wounded me, they'll never get the best of better men. I'll ride again. I changed rhythm there for a second. I am a river gambler, make a living dealing cards. My clothes are smooth and honest, my heart's bold and dark. I was dealing for some Delta boys on a boat in New Orleans. I was the greatest shark they'd ever seen. The captain bumped a sandbar and an ace fell from my sleeve. They threw me overboard, I swore I didn't cheat, but I could swim. I'll ride again. You are heroes of the homeland, American remains. We wear so many faces and answer many names. We will not be forgotten, we won't be left behind. Our memories are on immortal minds. And poets' pens, and I'll ride again. I am a Midwest farmer, make a living off the land. I ride a John Deere tractor, I'm a liberated man. But the rain hasn't fallen since the middle of July. And if it don't come soon, my crops will die. Baker says he likes me, but there's nothing he can do. He tells me that he's coming, but the crowd is coming too. He ain't my friend. we'll ride again. I am an American Indian. My tribe is Cherokee. My forefathers loved this land and left it here for me. But the white man came with boats and planes and dirty factories, poisoned my existence with his greed. Nature's our mother, we are sucklings at her breast. He who tries to tame her down will lose her to the rest. They'll never win. We'll ride again. We are heroes of the homeland, American remains. We wear so many faces and answer many names. We will not be forgotten, we won't be left behind. Our memories live on in mortal minds. And poets' pen will write again. That was that song is American Remains by the Highwaymen, if you're curious. Well, thank you. You're so kind. You're so kind. Thank you. Thank you. Truly, truly. Oh, man, my fingers are so goddamn cold now. Thanks from Argentina. Well, thank you from America for requesting. You're fed up with your cigarette smoking? Well, why don't you quit then? If you're fed up with it, why don't you quit? I'm not quite fed up with my vape usage, I think I could stand to destroy my lungs a little bit more, so, It's so crazy. It is wild to be able to talk to somebody from Argentina. Smoke crack instead, I agree. Wait, what's that line from what's that line? God damn it. You know what I wish I could do? Man. You know what would be great? Fuck. It'd be great if I could fucking press the home button and take this little thing with me, right? Because there's a line in a Tupac song that just hit me whenever you said that. But I can't remember the lines that are next to it. I think I got it. Take the evil out the people, they'll be acting right, because both black and white are smoking crack tonight. Where are you from? Tennessee? No, I'm not. I love how you spelled Tennessee. No, I'm from Mississippi, just south of Tennessee. In all seriousness, try a pipe. I use a church warden pipe occasionally. I don't find inmates craving tobacco the same way a cigarette would. Yeah, dude, try a pipe. For real though, pipes can make you both less reliant on tobacco and it can make you crave it less, right? My dad smokes a pipe, and the nature of smoking a pipe, it produces a lot of smoke, and you end up inhaling quite a bit of nicotine at once. So it's kind of a self-regulating thing because you don't even want to smoke for like an hour after you smoke a pipe. Now, that goes away with time, but even the most prolific pipe smokers don't usually sit and chain smoke it like somebody might with a cigarette. It's just, I don't know, in my experience, it's a more self-limiting experience than most other forms of tobacco are. And a lot of people don't like the smell of pipes, so it's like one of those things where a lot of people will feel the need to like sit away from everyone when they're smoking a pipe. There's also some ritual, like you can connect to it, you know, like you can be one of those pretentious people that has a nice chair that you like to sit in while you smoke your pipe and read, you know. My dad has the country version of that. Why couldn't you have a regular version of that, you know? I know that song you sang. Well, thank you. Well, I'm glad you did, because a lot of times I'll play that song and everybody's like, "Yeah, that's good," but I have no idea what that was. Oh, Miss, a place is so good. Music. Well, yeah, I mean, like Mississippi basically invented modern music, and we don't get any credit for it at all. With a lot of people, Mississippi, despite the fucking lack of respect and credit we get for it, Mississippi and her black musicians created modern music. The music that would become jazz, that would become hard rock and rock and roll in general. All of these genres originated in early musicians, all of which came out of Mississippi. And even some of the fucking like early rock and roll greats, fucking Elvis Presley, Mississippian. You know what I mean? And Elvis Presley literally was just stealing black music that he heard growing up in fucking Mississippi, in the same region that I'm from. So yeah, it's like we don't get any credit for it. Now, thank you for giving us credit for it, because I appreciate that. It's so refreshing to hear someone else recognize that Mississippi, you know, is full, it's chock full of great musicians, and that we basically invented modern music. You can also get tongue bite if you smoke too much. I like it, but I only feel the need to smoke on special occasions. Yeah, exactly. The song is Changes by Tupac, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one I was just singing. Well, the one I rapped like two lines from it. I said, take the evil out the people, they'll be acting right, because both black and white are smoking crack tonight. Yeah, that was Changes by Tupac. Here, let me take a sip of my drink. I'll see how much of it I can get through. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? Tired of being poor and even worse than black. I'm tired of my stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Cops give a damn about a Negro. Pull a trigger, kill a nigga, he's a hero. Selling crack to the kids, who the hell cares? One less hungry mouth on the welfare. First ship them dope, let them deal to brothers. Next step, give them guns, let them kill each other. It's time to fight back, that's what Huey said. 2 shots to the dome, now Huey's dead. I got love for my brothers, but we can never go nowhere unless we share it with each other. It's time to start making changes. Learn to see me as your brother to 2 different strangers. That's how it's supposed to be. How can the devil take a brother if he's close to me? I love to take it back to when we played as kids, but things change, and that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. I stumbled a couple of times, but see, and another good verse from that song. I see no changes. Can a brother get a little peace? There's a war on the street and a war in the Middle East. Instead of a war on poverty, they got a war on drugs, so the police can bother me, and I never did a crime I ain't have to do. Fuck. God damn it. It's been a while since I listened to that song, and I'm sick as fuck, so the lyrics are slipping my mind. But man, I love that song. A lot of times I will just tell people, you know what? What are my politics? Go listen to Changes by Tupac. You'll get it. You'll get it. He was a fucking communist. He was my type of people, bro. Me and Tupac could have smoked mad blunts and had mad fucking political conversations. Man, what a tragedy the loss of that man was. And I wasn't even alive when he died, bro. This is just a tragedy that I've figured out in the aftermath. I also need to get some of my pipes repaired a lot. My long stem church warden pipes need a new stem. Yeah, that's one bad thing about a church warden pipe, is the fact that they are very prone to that sort of damage. because the stem is just so long. There's more of it to break. I'm not a boy, but thank you. I'm precious. That's fine. What time is it here? 12:34. Hello, Bloom. Here, I'll put it in the background so people know it's there. There we go. Nice. Precious lady, if you please. Yes, precious lady. Dude, look what I got today. Graph paper, bro. Hell yes. Oh, God. You guys don't even understand how fucking excited I am for this shit. Literally. No, you don't get it because, dude, I have pins. I have graph paper. You know what that means? Designs. Ha ha! I feel a satisfaction I haven't felt since I was 12 years old. I like your glasses. Well, I like your personality, so thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe. I'm wondering if I should watch a non-Christmas movie tonight, but it's already pretty late. Go watch Die Hard, Merrick. Go watch Die Hard. Because you know what? Everybody says that's not a Christmas movie. I agree. But it is a Christmas movie. It's both. It's Schrodinger's Christmas movie. It is neither and both at the same time. And you don't know which until you watch it. So just go watch it. What are you designing? A house. I have an idea. So the layout of this thing, which apparently this office trailer, the plans for it have changed yet again. But there's been a long-standing policy that whichever of my father's children decided to come back and keep the family farm going could build a house out here. And I plan on keeping that tradition. I plan on taking up that offer. And the layout of this place inspired me because I kept thinking, you know, it would be kind of a small space for me, Silas, and a kid if it was just this plus an extension about as big, you know, or maybe, you know, 150% as big. So 50% bigger. But then I thought, if this area had a loft above it, right? If the area of the bedroom and bathroom had a loft, then that could be something. That could either be a living space kind of area, like, you know, like the living room's up here, which to me, I don't know, maybe, but could also be the kid's bedroom. And then when I thought of that, which I thought of it the other day, I thought of the loft idea months ago, maybe a year ago now, but a vision crystallized in my head the other day. I imagined my son waking up and, you know, his window is open and he looks out over the garden or you know, over the driveway into the woods and down the tracks. And he looks down, you know, from the balcony, you know, like from the mezzanine kind of loft area onto the kitchen, says hi to me as I'm making breakfast, says hi to Silas as they're getting ready for work or whatever. And to me, it just seems so magical to think about a kid getting to have that as their childhood. Getting to live in this cool-ass loft in this beautiful little cabin-like house that would take up very little footprint. And that's important to me because I don't want to take up a lot of space with it. And I don't want a shit ton of house to clean either. I like having a small space to inhabit, honestly, especially if I can make it beautiful. And the smaller space is, the easier it is to make it beautiful, in my opinion. I like the tiny house idea, and I'm sick of being told that it doesn't work if you have a kid that's too young. I'm like, I think that's bullshit. Because the thing my dad keeps bringing up, like, well, the kid crying and doing all this shit. It's like, bro, I'm gonna be around that anyway. Like, what am I supposed? Like, are you implying that I just like what I don't? So I've brought up this idea, right? Because it's a family farm, right? And because I'm I'm only 26. My parents are still alive. I'm still learning. I've still got a lot to learn. I'm still trying to absorb that knowledge and take, especially being a new parent, I'm trying to get their opinions on shit. But when I asked my dad about this, he says, that's not going to be enough space for you guys because, the kid is, they're pretty rambunctious in their first few years and all that yelling and crying and screaming. And you really want more space for that. And all I can think is like, I mean, why? Because I'm gonna be around my kid no matter what, like as much as I can be, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna have to go to work still and shit. So, but like other than that, I'm gonna be around them. So like, why do I need some giant house? Like I'm not gonna be locking them away in some room. I just don't get it. So I want to follow through this idea, and I want to draw out designs that I can build from the ground up. The problem is, I don't know shit about building a house. Not a goddamn thing. I know how to cut wood. Let me see. I was actually thinking Eyes Wide Shut or maybe Brown X Hamlet from 1996. Or maybe The Green Knight. That's a non-Christmas movie. Right on. Either of those would be good. Do you think Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween or a Christmas movie? That is... ultimately, I think it's a Christmas movie. I mean, it's got a lot of Halloween motifs, and a Halloween Town is, one of the other towns besides Christmas Town, right? And you would say that makes it a Halloween movie. I would argue that the plot is all wrapped up in the discovery of Christmas and the restoration of Santa Claus. And honestly, Jack's personal growth and the growth, like the patterns and processes of Halloween Town kind of take a back seat to that underlying plot premise. So I would say it's a Christmas movie. I do agree. I do like Die Hard. The Revenant is also a good movie to watch around this time. Yeah, 100%. For sure. But yeah, I want to build what I don't know what qualifies as a tiny house, honestly. I feel like what I want to build is more like just kind of like a small house. I don't know. I feel like people pretty much call anything that is not a mansion a tiny house at this point. Because I see some tiny houses that I'm like, that's a single wide trailer with a head-on entrance. That's not a tiny house, but whatever. Just throw a cardboard box in the woods and make sure it don't blow away. Listen, when I was on my own, I pretty much did that. But I got a kid on the way. I can't really do that. Dude, you know what I realized? I don't even mean for it to, but my lip kind of does that weird Pennywise smile thing. Weird. I'm going to be watching Halloween Ends soon. I've heard it's abysmal, but I'm doing it anyway. Right on. Yo, that's creepy ash. Yeah, I know that was, wasn't it? I can't do it, man. It's too much. I didn't grow up doing whatever weird thing Evan Skarsgård does or whatever. What I forget his name. Bill Skar. No, it's not Bill. Bill's the older one, right? No, Stellan's the older one. It was Bill. Stellan's the father. You'll all float down here. But aside from that idea, there's a few other fucking aspects to it too. I've thought about, like, I could extend the loft concept a little. See, because I want to do a vaulted ceiling, right? I want to do a vaulted ceiling because I think that if you're in something like a tiny house, I think you actually can make that economical. I think it would be a terrible idea if I was trying to build like a big house, but because it's going to be so small, I think it'll be fine. And I want to maximize the space that I'm going to get by extending up the walls higher than I would normally have to make them to accommodate for the headspace required by the loft, by the mezzanine, whatever you want to call it. So I guess what I'm thinking about doing is doing like a mezzanine over the bedroom and bathroom, and then maybe over the kitchen doing like a pantry loft kind of thing. Like having a ladder maybe that slides over to one side when you're not using it, or maybe has like a place for storage on the wall. You unhook it and then you kind of like hook it back wherever you need it. And like make it a sturdy, strong storage area where we can put all our like dry goods and canned goods and things like that that can stay for a long time. Put the Christmas tree up there and shit, I feel like it would maximize space. I just don't know if it would look right. But I feel like done right, it would actually add to it quite a bit. It's one of them Skarsgårds, man. Yeah, exactly. One of them are Skarsgårds. For some reason, this bowl ain't smoking. I don't know what the fucking possible reason could be. But I reseated it, so now let's try it again. I think I'm just gonna have to fucking bust this up and try again. I don't know what happened, but fixing it now. I think maybe there's still some resin off in there that I need to get out. There we go. That should prevent problems in the future. Now let's try again. Just going to pack it loosely this time. Dude, ever since somebody mentioned The Nightmare Before Christmas, my brain has just been playing the fucking sound from it, or the song. What's this? God damn. His rendition of Pennywise was ass, in my opinion. I like the 90s version better. I never got to watch the 90s version. I know it's out there somewhere, but I never read the books. I personally thought it was a pretty all right. I don't know. I don't have as much hatred for the It movies as a lot of people do, but I also don't have the same relationship with them that a lot of people do. So, hey. Maybe it's the strain you smoking. Making Christmas. Making Christmas. Making Christmas. It is nice. It is quite nice. See, now I got to figure out what is a good scale to use for this project. I also need, I need dimensions is what I need. I need to know how wide this space is, and I need to know how wide our bed is. Wee! I've never read it, but I know enough about it to know that it's pretty fucked up. Basically, one content per chapter after another. It's pretty much what I've heard too. There's some pretty depraved shit in it from what I hear. Haven't read it myself yet, but I do need to. So, Merrick, I gotta ask, have you seen some of the shit that Andrew's been posting lately? And I'm just gonna say, I don't want to drama farm about it, but I don't know, do kind of have a theory maybe about all of this, but I don't want to talk about it if there's nobody else that even knows what's going on, because I kind of have a theory that this is just gonna kind of blow over like a wet fart, but who knows? There's a lot of things that people should care about that they don't. There's a lot of things people shouldn't care about that they do. And I'm not saying that this is one way or the other. I'm not saying that yet. No, I'm not familiar. Well, then maybe that's for the better. Maybe that's for the fucking better. I don't know. If you haven't heard about it, I don't want to be the one that introduces you to it, because I'm not trying to drama farm it. It was some shit that caught my attention, and then I followed for a couple of days, watched the shit that came out, and I was like, I don't really think this is the fucking smoking gun that it was made out to be, but you know. Mr. Cratchit. Yeah. And oh my god, my voice sounds so bad. Awful stuff. Yeah, I'm in the dark here, but I've been out of the loop for the past few days. Well, that would explain it. The fire's gone cold, Mr. Scrooge. The fire's gone cold. Well, Merrick, just know there's going to be some fucking drama happening around the fucking DFF community for a couple of days. And I think it'll probably be for a couple of days, and then it'll probably peter out. But who knows? Like I said, these things can take on a life of their own. There have been a lot of takedown videos towards DFF recently. I came across one a couple weeks ago that had like 300,000 views. Truth be told, I try to stay out of the DFF community. I actually don't watch DFF stuff. That's so strange to me, because I know that's how we came in contact. Well, I guess it was probably more ideology than anything, but still, that's valid. Me personally, I'm a super fan, so whatever. I'm not afraid to admit it. I watch everything they put out eventually. I don't always watch it the day it's put out, and in fact, sometimes I end up getting, like fuck, I'm losing my train of thought. Anyway, I watch basically everything they put out. I always watch Onion Nuggets, and I watch the patrons episodes and shit. Who is DFF? It's a podcast hosted by the amazing atheist Paul Zico and the amazing atheist's brother Scotty, and you can find it by searching Deep Fat Fried or Onion Nuggets with a Z on YouTube. They're I'm kind of like, I don't know, I guess I'm like a rabble rouser in that community. I'm like an opinionated bitch that comes into various chats and spews my bullshit, kind of like I do here, but in text form. And I'm generally well liked, I guess, from what I can tell. I'm more of a ideology enjoyer myself, right? That's what I figured. It used to be an old school DP fan when I first started. I'll occasionally look into DFF, but it's ultimately not my thing. That's strange to me, man, because I'm telling you, I feel like some DFF content could be your thing if you like the DP style of content. Like, you got to check out all their guest appearances because they, in my opinion, have a lot of that same kind of old DP energy in a lot of those. Like, especially their Vosh conversation, because it's 4 people, even though Scotty only says, like, I think Scotty says like 40 words in the whole fucking 3-hour appearance, but, you know, it's ostensibly 4 people arguing about some shit, and that's very akin to the old DP format. But I can understand why it's not everybody's thing. I mean, to me, the topical thing, I was happy for it when it happened. It came at a time in my life where I was starting to kind of restructure the way I thought about things. I was starting to think about things, and I don't know, at first it was probably like pretentious and kind of like silly, but I wanted to think of myself better. I kept thinking about this old adage, like, stupid people talk about people, smart people talk about ideas. And I kept thinking about that over and over again. And I'm sure at first it was kind of like shallow and, ill motivated maybe, but I set about trying to like actually educate myself and watch. Like, that's around the time I started watching Joe Rogan, because back then Joe was still on YouTube. He hadn't gone all weird right wing and shit. He was like still like a libertarian dude, like center left if anything. I was starting to watch documentaries a lot at that time, and I started to watch a lot of movies that I hadn't caught, from the last 30 years. So it was like a time in my life where I was trying to broaden my horizons on purpose. And their transition to more topical content was, for me, a really, really cool thing. Because for me, it was like, great. Like, my favorite content creators just started a new show, and it's topical. It's like about shit that I can learn about, and it'll inspire me to go on my own research tangent about it. I much prefer early DFF, like 2018 to 19 era. Onion Nuggets is hit or miss for me. Onion Nuggets is hit or miss, but I don't care. I watch everyone and I donate when I can. Because the dudes who, you know what? Like, I think the dudes and genderless being that do that show are pretty fucking chill people. And more than that, I think that they spread an incredibly important message at a time when people really need to hear it. All 3 of those guys are advocates for the taking back of power from the bourgeoisie, the distribution of power and wealth to the working class. And that is a message people need to hear. And, I'm just happy to support a show that does that and keeps people engaged with laughter and fun. I also used to watch TJ a whole lot back in the day, but he's changed so much as a person, and so have I. No ill will towards the dude or his show. I have no strong opinions either way. TJ has changed a lot, and in my opinion, it's been for the better. Like I'll admit it, I'm kind of known as a polisher, but honestly, for being completely truthful, I think I'm just as much a Tajika fan as I am a polisher, 100%. Because I really I really enjoy both of those guys. Well, not honestly. One of the big changes about TJ is that they've started opening up more about their gender identity and about their real feelings about gender, and so it feels in my mind inappropriate anymore to call them with he/him pronouns. And honestly, I don't know. Maybe you should watch some TJ content that's been coming out over the last couple of days. Not couple of days, maybe, but couple of weeks, because I don't know. They've grown so much, and in my opinion, it's really cool to see. I think they've aged like a fine wine, and they're in their best era now. But I also, I don't know, not trying to like make you fucking dive back into it if you don't want to. It's just like, I don't know, when you're talking about somebody that's been doing content for that long, it is kind of awe-inspiring, at least to me, to see how many different phases that they go through, how many different iterations. Do you like Trailer Park Boys? I used to. Now it kind of reminds me of an ex of mine, and that's not an entirely pleasant association, so, eh. Occasional as a person, he's always remained a storyteller and entertainer at heart. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't feel like, well, I don't know. Okay, Merrick, how do you feel like Paul has changed? Because I feel like there's some ways Paul has changed, but you say you've been watching him since before DP. I started watching him because he was on DP. So, what are some of the changes? Because I'm curious. I mean, I did watch that old content, so I have an idea of them, but I didn't get to watch a lot of the old Stickama beers and stuff like that. So, wherever you are, go on and on. Chicken ramen? Oh man. Wait, oh Jimmy, you ain't no pokey, is you? Look me in the eyes, oh Jimmy, and tell me you ain't no pokey. You better be out on them streets eating some chicken ramen because you poor and not in the damn pokey. What the hell is a pokey? A prison. A camp. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think because of my experience with prisons, I kind of like associate ramen with them super heavily. Man, you would be surprised what an inmate can make with ramen, though. Ramen, I just recently tried this past 2 years. I love it. Okay, cool. So you're just eating ramen because it's good. Right on. That's cool. Ramen is good though, especially like actual like good ramen is really good. You've probably heard him say this before, but he used to present himself in a more straight-laced sort of way. Yeah, 100%. I feel like he's also a bit quicker to anger now, but I'm sure a lot of that is due to just interacting with people on the internet so much. I've always just assumed that that's what it is. Plus, I think that Paul realizes that his anger is part of the entertainment value. I think he's realized that from the beginning. I think here's what I don't know. I don't like to psychoanalyze people in their absence. I'm totally fine with psychoanalyzing them if they're in my presence. But here's the limited psychoanalysis I will give with the caveat that I don't know for sure. This is just my fucking outsider ass take as a person who watches this fucking content. Okay? Take it with a fucking tiny little grain of salt, okay? But I think Paul grew up with some pretty emotional and reactive parents in a pretty emotional and reactive kind of society among some pretty emotional and reactive siblings. I think, there's like the anecdotal evidence of Irish people just kind of being quick to anger and quick to passion in general. And, as an Irish woman myself, by ancestry. I would agree with that. Like it's definitely something exemplified by the Irish side of my family for sure. Um, there's so I think Paul probably has always had kind of like a little bit of a hot temper. Maybe not the hottest of tempers, because I don't hear Paul tell a lot of stories where he's like I could tell y'all some crazy fucking stories about shit I did because I had a temper. I've never heard Paul tell stories like that. So that makes me feel like he probably had a better handle on it and was able to express it verbally and restrain himself better, you know what I mean, than someone with like an awful, awful temper. But I imagine he's kind of always had a little bit of a, verbal anger, kind of like quick to. I think that's probably a tendency that developed through childhood and adolescence. And then um, he probably, kind of modulated it and brought it out kind of in a performative way on the Drunken Peasants. And the way that was received probably, I think, influenced future performances. And at a certain point, Paul has talked about even like wanting to, he's been talking about for like a year now about trying to not be that, maybe more than a year. And so I think at a certain point he stopped doing it on purpose and it started kind of just happening, if that makes sense. Um, Personally, I think now is a time for anger. I think the worst thing about Paul being angry is the fact that being angry isn't exactly the greatest thing for. But that's not my fucking concern to be worried about. I'm not his mom. I'm not his wife. Okay? So, like the way I see it, Paul is angry about things that people have every goddamn right to be angry about. And I think more people need to fucking be angry about it. And I'm glad that he's fucking angry about it. And I wish that I wasn't so sick right now so that I could sound as angry about it as he does when he rants about the fucking degradation of the working class and the working poor and the fucking complete erasure of humanity that goes on daily in this country. Like, I think it's a good message. I think it's a good tendency. I mainly notice Mr. Ego that more comfortable in his shoes, if that makes any sense. I think he's reached a point in his life where he's found his center, if that makes any sense. Oh, I 100% agree. I think we're living in the best era of Paul, for sure. I think that's, yeah. I'm Irish myself, but I don't think I'm so quick to anger. I could be wrong. I do know explosive anger does run in the male side of my paternal family. Yeah. I do feel like Paul used to be way more jovial, at least back in the DP days. He's kind of circled back to it now. Paul's always been jovial, dude. I gotta tell you, like, okay, here's something I figured out once I got into the DFF Patreon. Paul's got way more energy for like esoteric topics and topics that aren't directly related to like electoral politics and news type shit. He's got way more interest in that than he does that type of shit. So if you watch shows where he's talking about that type of shit, and like especially if it's like a funny topic, you can see Paul being super jovial sometimes. And even on Onion Nuggets, I feel like you still see him be a jovial like now, but always like I think that's always been an element of Paul's performance. Now, do I think that there have been like, of course, there are stretches where he's less jovial, but like, I don't know, like, man says he's got depression. I believe him. One gets depressed. It's fucking harder to summon that shit up. Ask me how I know. Um, I think a lot of it though, like starting to see it again is like, he's been eating better. He got on CPAP. He's doing a lot of things right in his life, and I'm really honestly. Like, I don't know, it feels parasocial to say this, but like, you know, like, just, I don't know. I can't say it because it's too parasocial. Like I said earlier, I'm not his mom or his wife, so I can't say I'm proud of him. But it's just like, it's cool to see. Can I say that without being parasocial? It's cool to see. It's a nice thing. I think Paul has also been more comfortable to let his childishness to come out for both good and ill. I think his ex-friend Jason was able to stay in his good graces because of that side of Paul. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I also think he's starting to maybe modulate. I don't know how to put it. Like, I think maybe he's starting to get like a grasp on that allows him to exercise it in better ways, maybe. But I don't know. I'm kind of open about the fact that I'm kind of a fucking sycophant, for both DJ and Paul. So it's like, I'm probably going to find an angle that makes them look good with whatever you say. But whatever. It is the way it is. No, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a sycophant, but like, I'm supportive of their message, and it makes me very apt to, to like see the best. But yeah, childish can be good and bad, right? I think, and like, okay, here's an example of some childishness that I don't think played to Paul's favor. I fucking went searching for an onion nuggets because I've just been in a I want to watch people argue kind of mood, and so I went back and watched the Road to the Trump Gauntlet where Scotty and Paul had a fucking like threatened to fucking, I don't know, kick each other's asses or something. Watch that, and then that reminded me of the fight that happened right after that, a few shows later, between TJ and Paul, and it was about like whether or not people keep schedules and whether or not this one particular Christian dude on the screen kept a schedule, whether or not it was believable, whether or not the schedule he claimed to keep was believable. And at one point, Paul does an impression of TJ and does just like this, like, it is childish, like, voice. Like the, I'm gonna fucking use the retard voice, and it's like, I can't deny that it's funny, but it's also like very childish. And it's like, he was fucking, I thought honestly that he was making some good points. And I thought, like, I thought the conversation was having the positive effect of maybe showing some blind spots in TJ's perspective, illustrating some possible blind spots, right? But I think he undermined that by using that tactic in particular. You ever tried dipping a McDonald's burger in honey? No, but now that you said that, I really want to. Oh my God, that sounds good. Oh my God, that sounds fucking delicious, bro. Literally, that sounds like the best thing in the world. It's really good, dog. I believe it, bro. Una mattina mi svegliato, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina svegliato, in vaso, il partigiano vivia. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Il partigiano portami via. God damn it. Se necesita una poca de gracia. Una poca de gracia. Y arriba, arriba. Y arriba, arriba. ¿Por qué seré? ¿Qué seré? ¿Por qué seré? One of my favorite DFF arguments was back when they did top 10 everything list, and they had like a 2-hour-long argument about a rule. Bro, that is a fucking hallmark of the fucking show. Literally, a similar argument happened in the most recent Tournament of Terror. It's like a fucking hour-and-a-half long argument between fucking Scotty and Paul about the fucking particulars of a rule. And you keep thinking it's over, right? And then Paul will go back to it. It's like... I love it, man. I just can't help but love it. Alrighty. Y'all want to hear a sea shanty? There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy a Day. The winds picked up and about it down, oh blow my bunny boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. So one day when the tongue in his tongue, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come, bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the time is done, take our leave and go. God, my voice is so destroyed. Fuck, I hate it, man. I feel like I have fucking... Fuck. I feel like I've got a third of the lung capacity I normally do. Hello. So, maybe if I sing it at a lower key. Once was a ship that my bunny boys blow. So there once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was a Billy a Day. The winds dripped down and about it down, oh blow my bunny boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. So one day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day day when the toilet is done, we'll take our leave and go home. Damn it, I'm forgetting which verse comes next. If you have any honey on hand, that could help your throat, but I'm not sure what you're sick with. I think I'm sick with fucking Herpagonocephalides vid-19, pretty much. You could run a show and sing like that, it'd be good. Yeah, maybe. Dude, I want to get back into playing gigs, but apparently I'm gonna have fucking sickness. Apparently I'm dying, so. Afraid I might not get the chance, but I guess we'll see. Right now, I feel like I definitely won't, but you never know. Here, I'm going to let my hair down, because that feels more natural when I'm playing, honestly. The Eastern world, it is exploding, violence flaring and bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, just not for vote. You don't believe in war. Well, what's the gun you're toting? And even the Jordan River's got bodies floating. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friends, that you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Don't you feel the fears that I'm feeling today? If that button is pushed, well, there's no running away. There'll be no world to save with that world in a grave. Take a look around you, boys. It's bound to stay, boys. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friends, that you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. But so bad, feels like coagulating while I'm sitting here just contemplating. Well, I can't twist the truth. It knows no regulation. A handful of senators can't pass legislation, and marches alone won't bring integration. When human respect is disintegrating, this whole fucking world is just too frustrating. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friends, that you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Think of all the hate there is in Red China. Then take a look around to Selma, Alabama. Well, you may leave there for 4 days in space. Well, when you return, be the same damn place. The pounding of the drums, the pride and disgrace. You can bury your dead, just don't leave a trace. Hate your next door fucking neighbor, don't forget to leave a trace. And Tell me over and over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. No, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. We're all dying, that's right. If you get oh yeah. Yeah, no, I know. Dude, I do have honey on here. There's honey in the house. There's honey in the house, the White House. Hillary is the one. Hillary, 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 Hillary. Hillary, we need a woman in the house, the White House. Hillary Clinton is the one. We need a woman in the house, the White House. Come on, everyone. I'm sorry, I won't. I'm kidding. It's a joke, all right? I'm kidding. Where do you think the people who made that song are right now? Probably still in the fucking Hillary Clinton machine, honestly. Unless they fucking said a cross word about her in public, then probably being carried away on the currents of the North Atlantic Current in a series of small hefties, if I had to imagine, but my cover of it was better, though. Okay, would it be? No, it wouldn't be. I'm going to do a folk punk cover of Skibbereen. Oh, Father dear, I often hear you speak of Erin's Isle. I'd love to see to that greener mountain through the wild. You say it is an old land wherein a prince might dwell. To a wife to a better, no reason to be tell. Well, son, I love our native land with energy and pride. Till a blight came over all our crops and our sheep and cattle died. The rent and taxes were to pay, I could not them redeem. And that's the cruel reason I left old Skibbereen. Just when I do remember that dark November day, when the bailiff and the landlord came to drive us all away, they set the roof on fire with their cursed English steam. And that's another reason we left old Skibbereen. mother dear, she could not believe the destruction she saw. She passed out in her... I can't remember the fucking lyrics there. God damn it. That was actually really good until I stumbled. Your mother dear, she fainted. Oh, your mother dear, she fainted, seen desolation round. She fell upon her knees, then laid upon the ground. Woke not again, but passed away into a mortal dream. And that's a cruel reason I let go of Skippery. Well, you were only 2 years old and feeble was your frame. I could not leave you with my friends for your father's name. So I wrapped you in my coat of morn and fled the night unseen. I heaved a sigh and breathed goodbye to bitter Skippery. Hey, great voice. Can you do Hell's Coming With Me? No, not off the top of my head. Do you know any Smashing Pumpkins? I do, actually. I do. I don't know if I can sing it right now, but I can try. I can at least try. I think I'm going to have to play without a pick. Almost see it, full enough to not quite be it. Run away with me tomorrow. Try ease the pain somehow. Heal the pain where no one knows where our secrets go. and narrow, where the hearts of our barrel scream. And I live when I can. I will try to understand when I can. I will. Damn it, I can't remember the last fucking. Can't remember the last verse. Bro, just a spam. Total spam account, bro. Well, thanks, y'all. Y'all are sweet. I appreciate it. Whenever Paul finishes moving, he should reopen PJ's Saloon. Good folk songs could be made about the bar for sure. Sean Johnson's Lament. Now, there's a song about a little boy named Sean Johnson. No, you'd have to make him an adult to not make the song sound creepy. Now, this is a song about a man named Sean Johnson. Thought he was invincible to everything. Till he learned one day that a man can think he's invincible all day long. Till he meets Ranger Paul. I could turn that into something. Yeah. For sure. Damn it. Itchy. I'm itchy, y'all. I'm itchy. Anyway, I think I might just go because I'm fucking tired and I sound like shit. I don't know. What do you guys think? I might hit the bull another couple of times before I kick off here. He locked me behind bars. He accused me of smashing his trumpet, but he didn't know I was everything proof. Yeah. He didn't know, man. He didn't know. Hi. Hello. Welcome. Shh. Vanity knows the same. I am okay. Yes. I am good. Okay, I don't know why I'm whispering. Anyway, yeah, that was weird. Yeah, this is a fucking... This chat, I say 18 plus, really it should be like 21 plus, because I think 18 is old enough to start living like an adult, but I don't know that it's old enough to be taken seriously like an adult in every single conversation, if that makes sense. I'd be banning people because they're just too young to be hanging out in here. And I think that's good practice. $25 plus? Hell, I ain't trying to set it that high. I mean, hell, at some point. Like, I think... Okay. Oh, God. Someone who's still 18 is still a child to me. Well, I guess I see things a little differently. I don't know. I think at 18, you fairly can't be called a child anymore. Meow. Meow. I don't know. It just seems strange to me that we, there seems to be an increasing movement to but basically to move up the age at which a person is considered like actually a grown-up, actually an adult, up to like 25 or 26. I've even heard batted about. It's just strange to me because all these, they're all based on the argument that your brain doesn't finish developing until you're that old. But that's not the standard for adulthood that we apply to any other species on this planet. Go figure. Every other species on this planet, it's like, when is your physical development pretty much finished? And in every other species on the planet, we recognize that it kind of varies between individual, but there's, a pretty standardized age. And my understanding is that the brain continues developing after a lot of the other organs have pretty much like finished what they're going to be doing, like they've developed as far as they're going to. I don't know, it just seems like a strange place to set it. I'm down for 18, I'm down for 21. Setting it above 21 seems like an overstep in my opinion, but I don't feel that fucking passionately about it. I don't know how old Merrick is. I don't remember. Based on what they said, I'm going to guess they're in their 30s. I think Merrick's in their 30s, yeah. I think Merrick's in their late 30s. Joy to the Lord has come. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. 33. I don't know why I thought late 30s. I guess because I'm a dickhead. Merrick, am I a prick? You can level with me. I've been wondering lately. Merrick, you come in enough of these. You've had enough conversations with me. You've seen enough of my interactions with other people. Am I a fucking prick? Just be real. If I'm not, hey, that's fine. If I am, hey, that's fine too. I'm genuinely curious. I don't even want to poison the well with what I think I am. But I'm curious what someone who watches me thinks. I don't know why I thought of that, but no, it's all good. I could be fucking 56 for all you know. Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah. True. Fucking true. Oh, sweet. Good. Okay. Right on. Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, I'm doing better than that. Hell yeah. No, I don't ever throw a temper tantrum. Like, sometimes I get loud and impassioned about the things that I talk about, but like I said in defense of Paul earlier, I think that type of shit is necessary now more than ever. And like Paul, I grew up in a pretty volatile family myself. Although, ironically, they've mellowed now, and I'm, you know, I've had to mellow out too, but, it's just strange because they're the ones who fucking instilled it in me, and now they're fucking like peace experts. It's like, fuck you guys. I finally learned how to exist as your weird, chaotic fucking daughter, and now you're fucking the Buddha. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I'm really sick. Goodbye, y'all. Good night.